Hello, I would like to welcome you to episode 8 of the Follow the Leader video podcast. My name is Greg Barron, and the topic for tonight is planning. Planning. In order to move forward and accomplish anything significant, you have to begin with a plan, and you may not be good at planning. Planning may be something that you found difficult to do. So, we're going to break planning down to the basics. If you're trying something new, if you're trying something difficult, sometimes you can make it easier on yourself by breaking things down and make the planning part much simpler. I can only speak about what I had to do. This did work for me. So I encourage it in other people. I encourage it in the people that I talk with, people that come to me and ask questions. I say, well, let's break it down. Let's try to step forward a piece at a time. And so people talk about goals, having goals all the time, setting goals. And then they talk about objectives, accomplishing objectives. It's important to understand clearly what the difference between these two things, what the difference really is. Objectives are like the rungs on a ladder that you use to climb up. And the goal is the top of the ladder, the place you're trying to get to. So look at it this way. Any goal will have objectives, tied to it. And an objective must be something achievable and definable and something that is actually a step that takes you where you are trying to go. That's the most important part. The step has to push you forward. It can't just be a step in one direction, then you take a step back, then you take a step to the left or the right. You have to continually be moving forward toward the goal you are trying to achieve. And so you must begin with the first objective. And that is the first part of your plan. What is your first objective? All right? You may say, well, I want to go back to school. I didn't finish school and I want to go back. I had to do this. Dropout is such a hard word. I discontinued. I paused my education for a brief period of time. And then I went back and I finished. What I had to do first is I had to find out what were the opportunities available to me from pursuing my education. What schools, what kind of programs, what did I want to major in? How would it help me moving down the road toward being more successful? So, figuring that out was my first objective. Okay? Let's say you want to get a promotion or you want to get a pay increase at work. Well, how does this work where you work? How is this done? How do you apply for jobs within the company? Is it something formally discussed, informally discussed? You have to find out how to get it done. And once you figure out how to get it done, then you know, what's my first step? Do I need to go ask questions of this person? Do I need to go fill out a form? Do I need to go down to the human resources department and discuss it with them? What is the deal? And so that's a selection of possible first steps. Then, let's say you want to start a business. Well, a good place to start is the Small Business Administration, which is part of our favorite institution, the federal government. And you might say, well, I don't know anything about the SBA. Well, what should I do? Well, your first objective might be I'm going to go research their website. That's going to be my first step. Now, it's always baby steps. You might say, well, Barron, these steps don't really sound that important. It doesn't sound like you're really getting anywhere, doing anything. Everybody has to start off on their tiptoes. You got to one baby step at a time. But it makes up forward progress. Once you gain more information, more knowledge, more experience, Then you can take bigger steps. You can move on to different things. You can move up higher on the ladder. Let's say you want to make a movie. Let's say, God rest Kobe Bryant. God bless him for making a movie and winning an Oscar. Let's say you want to do something like that. You want to make a 5-minute movie. You want to make something short and impactful, something that will reach people on a certain topic. Well, okay, your first objective might be, well, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure out what possible topics. What can I make a movie about? Do I want to make something serious? Do I want to make something funny? What do I want to do? That might be your first objective, is to figure out what do you want to do. Your second objective, you might want to go out and make sure you understand what short movies are being accepted. What topics are audience really accepting and paying attention to? And how are critics receiving short movies from newcomers? And so this is information, these are objectives, these are steps you can take to get you closer to what you dream of doing. Let's say, well, I want to go whole hog. I want to get somebody to invest some venture capital in my idea. Well, your first step should be to gather as much information and look at as many examples of people that have gone before you. All of the things that people want to do in life, you can find good examples of what to do. And I always say, seeing what not to do is just as important. So look at examples of other people and come up with an idea of what your first step should be. Then your second step. And you can make a little plan, make it look like a little ladder, be artistic with it if you want to. You can come up, what are my first 5 steps in the direction that I want to move in? Let's say you're young and you want to play baseball. All right. Well, the first thing you have to do is you got to trick your parents into getting the equipment for you. Then you got to get them to spend time with you, going out watching to see if you can do anything with it. And then you try out for the team. But in between that and the tryout, there's a lot of work and practice that you should put in order to see, can I bat? Can I throw? Can I run? Can I field the ball? Can I pitch? What can I do? And once you find out what you can do, you get an idea what glove you like, because all the gloves are different. Outfielder's glove is different from a first baseman's glove and so on. There's bats that are different. You may like a heavy bat. Some people like a light bat. And so then there's the type of equipment you want to wear, you want to use, that you see the people you admire, the baseball players wear. You might want to get a little bit of that. And so even though I'm talking to the young people, I'm talking to the parents too. And you can nudge them along by looking at what is being done, how the game is being played, what they say about players, what they say about speed, power, how to develop it, and let them play other sports too during the time that they're not playing baseball, just to work sports that might help them with their quickness, with their power, and even with their aggression. You need aggression to play baseball. A lot of people don't know that. So playing baseball, starting a business, going back to school, all of these things take a little bit of planning, a little bit of forethought and thinking in order to ensure that you move forward productively, that the steps you take actually move you down the road to where you're trying to go. It is not that complicated. All plans are born out of simple steps. And when you look at a step, you can see what is required. What do I need? Who do I need? What resources do I need? Do I need to talk to people? Do I need to read a book? Do I need to watch a video? You find out what's out there. What are people doing? All the people who are trying the things that I want to try or who have tried, how are they making the attempt? Let's say that you want to play ladies basketball in college. Let's say you've already done your time in high school, you've done well, you've made it to college, you've made it to the team. And now you're saying, I want to be someone who contributes to the team, someone who plays, someone who starts. So you look at what they are requiring of you and you figure out how to get it done. If they want you to put a certain time in the weight room to get stronger, if they want you to spend a certain amount of time working on your agility, working on your speed, before you ever touch a basketball, you work hard on those things so that when you get out on the court, you're ready to go, you're ready to compete physically. Because once you move up from high school to college in any sport, the physical demands will be greater. But that doesn't mean you can't handle them. Of course you can handle them. But you have to plan for that. You have to know what's coming. Look down the road and say, okay, by the time I get there, I need to be doing this and capable of doing this and doing that. So, a selection of things for you to think about in terms of planning so that you can outline the objectives, the steps that will carry you to your goal. I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I didn't have to learn how to do. And it has been very helpful for me, breaking things down, making them simpler so I can focus on them and give them my best effort. And this is what I want for you too. I want you to be able to put forethought into the things you're trying to do so that you can overcome whatever obstacles pop up and keep things moving. All right, I want to remind you that I do also have the audio podcast, and it appears anywhere you might listen to whatever podcasts you are listening to already. And so I hope that you will continue to listen and continue to think about the things that I've mentioned to you. Once again, my name is Gregory Barron, and this has been episode 8 of the Follow the Leader video podcast. Thank you for watching.
Viewfinder. Stop recording video.